How's it going, everyone? It's Noir back on another video. Today I'm starting a bit of a series, making samples until I get good. I think I'm pretty average at making samples, I try to practice it here and there. But ultimately when it comes to making beats, I like to sample other things. So I need more practice with the MIDI all the time. So today I'm starting this series, and basically I'll just break down the sample I made and then how I flipped it. And then I'm just going to repeat making the series until I get good. So in Ableton, this is the sample I made last night, and then I flipped it down the bottom here. First I'll start by going through the sample. So the first thing I started with was the vinyl noise. I wanted to immediately start with that, so any sounds I add are already in that sort of aesthetic. So this is the vinyl noise by itself. Pretty common, you can find that anywhere. And the first thing I reached for was this piano. I used Keyscape, and I added a little bit of reverb and a bit of EQing, and so this is what that sounds like by itself. So if you look in the actual MIDI here, basically all I did was I started with one note that I thought sounded good, which was D, and then I copied that note and then found a rhythm that I liked, and then found the pitch that I wanted to go to next. And I essentially created a chord and then repeated that chord twice and then dropped it down 2 semitones and then copied it again. And then I copied all those chords down an octave, and I changed up the rhythm a bit just to give it a bit more frequency space. And then at the bottom here, just to fill out the final bit of frequency space, I just played the main note of each chord. I didn't play it right at the start, I just put a little bit of space and then a little extra note at the bottom here. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was definitely the vibe I was trying to go for. And I just duplicated the piano track and changed the sound for a violin or a strings ensemble, I can't remember which one. And then I just removed some of the high notes. I just wanted to get the low sound to really thicken up the sample. I added this violin here, might be a cello though. So I didn't really do anything crazy to the cello, just added an EQ, and I used the reverb built into the plugin. And then I duplicated the piano again, and I changed it out for another violin patch. I think it was the same one, might have been different. And then I just kept the highs, and I just wanted to create one solid violin melody, essentially. And so this is what I added here. So I can already tell you from just a little self-feedback, I need to work on that violin melody. In the next one I'll definitely work on this, but you can hear how the notes sort of, it's like very robotic. I think they need to flow better into each other. I'll work out how to do that at some point. And so all I did then is I copied those 4 patterns 4 times, and then I just sequenced them to make one long sample. So I'll play that here, and then I'll show you how I flipped it. And so I thought that was sounding pretty cool. I can definitely tell you with some other self-feedback, there's definitely some things I would change, but I'm happy with how it turned out when I made it anyways. But some of those piano notes are very bright compared to the rest of the sample. I'm trying to go for a more mellow tone. But anyways, then to test the sample, I decided to flip it into a beat. So as I often do, first thing I did was just pitch down the sample just so I could get a vibe and see if I could find something that sounded cool or some cool rhythms. And so this is when I pitch it down 3 semitones. And so when I flipped it, I just found a part that I liked, and I ended up warping it a bit to fit it on beat. some of the notes were a little bit off once I had warped it. Basically, and then I just added drums and a bass, and this is what I came up with. Anyways, not a bad start to the series. I thought that flip turned out pretty hard, and it's definitely a beat that I would create with a sample like that. Hopefully you agree that that was alright. I'm definitely going to keep working and improving. I'll make sure to mention as I do the series what things I've learned to improve in certain areas and try to give as many gems as possible. I like to use all these rare samples, like these beautiful melodic tones, and sometimes they're very difficult to find. So I figured, why not just learn to make them? And then there we go. Easy peasy. Just make them yourself. You can always back yourself. There's one thing Alex Volkanovsky taught me. Back yourself. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video.